YouTube, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for cooling with Jay as always. So guys, in today's video, man, I'm gonna keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go over a few things that have kind of transpired these last couple months and weeks. You know what I'm saying? I just want to be honest with my viewers about what's going on in my life due to what's going on in the world right now. And since I have a platform, of course, which is my YouTube channel, to kind of share my experience and how I personally feel when I'm going through, I figured some of y'all are kind of going through the same thing. So I figured it'd be a great time to kind of dive into a few topics. Today's not going to be necessarily a full-on ride video because, like I said, I just want to talk and keep it, this is more of a serious tone-ish, I guess you could say. And as always, guys, if you enjoy my content, conversations, and things I discuss, please hit that like and subscribe button, man. Of course, as y'all already know, that really helps out my channel. So we're gonna be talking about a few things. Starting off with one is going to be, I'm not sure if some of y'all were aware, but I was actually going to swap over my V4 for the Street Fighter when it came out, or obviously due to the COVID stuff. It was actually, I had a pre-order, okay, or a deposit, I guess you could say, on one, and it arrived, what is it now, a month and a half ago. And obviously, as y'all can see before me, there was no Street Fighter, right? I still have my Panigale, which is not a bad thing, but obviously there's no new bike, right? And I kind of wanted to share why that happened and kind of my thoughts and feelings on that matter, okay? And again, guys, this is 100% transparency because there's too much junk going on social media and YouTube nowadays, man, where people are just kind of showcasing all the good stuff and not necessarily the bad, the troubled times, the things that upset you. Like, it's always good feels all the time and good vibes all the time, and that's just not life. Life has ups and downs, valleys, roller coaster, however you want to describe that, but that's kind of how life is. And I kind of want to go through and explain, and just kind of just walk you through this past month and what happened. So, getting into it. All right, I had the pre-order down, right? I was obviously, very excited to swap over to the Street Fighter, okay? Due to some issues last year, I unfortunately, due to things going on with my channel, with my personal business, I missed a few payments on the bike. That's just the way it is. Obviously the bike's, I'm still paying it, nothing's wrong now, but that ding on my record essentially affected me being able to get into the Street Fighter. That's just the truth. I mean, it's not, and I personally don't feel like dropping 25 grand on a bike right now, and I'm using up my free cash. So that's kind of a little backstory on that. And to be honest, for a while it did upset me. I had big plans with vendors and different people to do modifications, to do parts, to showcase different items. I had all these ideas planned, right, for two reasons. One of which was obviously to help grow my channel, because I'll post a link up above, but I did kind of like a first impressions ride of the Ducati V4. So I did a first impressions ride of the Street Fighter, right? And it got tons of views. Obviously, as much as we YouTubers want to keep certain items, the viewers like the latest and greatest thing. So there's this balance on not trying to every single week bring y'all something new, but at the same time keep it refreshed. Does that make sense? So because of that, obviously, so for two reasons. One, after I rode it, I really liked it, the comfortability of it, all of that. So for me personally, it's the best of both worlds, right? I don't do really track days. I do plan on doing some track days, but overall mine's kind of commuting, riding, cruising, that sort of thing. So for me, the Street Fighter was like, I guess, the best of both worlds, and it was the newest, latest, coolest thing, which would of course help my channel as I'm now monetized to hopefully get more sponsorships and that thing, right? That's what I hope for. So of course, when the time came, like I said, I knew there was a possibility, and it just didn't work out, and it upset me, right? I was bummed, I was upset, but I realized I actually had to teach myself and remind myself of something. When I started off my channel 2 years ago, it wasn't really about the latest and greatest thing. What it was about for me, for my channel, was kind of going through the experience of being a first-time rider on a super bike and just enjoying making video. That's honestly what it was about. Not based on views, not based on how many subscribers I have, just doing what I enjoyed doing because I liked it. Okay, so kind of reversing back a few steps. Before 2 years ago, right, I was working at Nike. I'm sure some of y'all might know that, or if you didn't know, now you know. I used to work for Nike, and basically before that, I was in sales most of my life, and trying to work for Nike and trying to basically, the job I was trying to go for or do was it's called a soccer PLM, so product line manager. The reason why is because at 30 years old, what I'd realized is I actually enjoyed being creative. I enjoyed creating something, right? So I enjoyed, because I used to play soccer and, you know, was trying to play professional. That's a whole nother story. The point is, I want to be as close to soccer at the time as possible. So that meant I wanted to create soccer shoes, which I mean, I'd be around soccer players and hopefully, like, you know, Ronaldo and Neymar, and, you know, that was kind of the dream, right? Of being able to present them soccer shoes I'd helped create. And that would kind of keep me close to that soccer lifestyle, right? And obviously that didn't necessarily work out, but it sparked something. What it sparked was me wanting to be creative, and I realized I kind of had this creative bone in me, if you want to call it that I wanted to create stuff. And I've always enjoyed YouTube, so that's kind of transitioned into me wanting to stepping out and wanting to create a YouTube channel. The point I'm getting to with this all circling back is that was the core of why I started my YouTube channel, was so I could bring out that creative side of me, right, and not be limited to a company telling me what I could and couldn't make. Does that make sense? Because at Nike, even though you're creative in a sense, right, you're still limited to what they allow you to create. Now, again, working for Nike, there are definitely some jobs where you have free reign over what you create. They kind of call that like the innovation part of Nike, where these guys just come up with the craziest ideas and sneakers and shoes, apparel, all kind of stuff, right? So that's kind of what they do. But on the PLM side, you're still sticking within a line, right? Product line manager, right? So you're sticking within a certain particular line of an idea, right? And obviously there's a lot of politics on getting that final product done. Okay, even though I didn't get the job, I still did enjoy the politics side of it. So YouTube breaks that restraint, right? And it allows me to have full creative, you know, like I can make a video like this, right? I'm not necessarily riding my bike, but I can make a video of talking about things, and I don't have to worry about someone calling and say, hey, Thomas, that doesn't go with our core values or whatever else, right? So that brought out, right, that creative side. And so that's essentially why I started my YouTube channel. So fast forward it to that Ducati that I didn't get, right? I had to remind myself that not having that bike doesn't stop me from being creative, right? It does obviously change the type of things I talk about and the things I discuss, but it doesn't change my core value, because at my core, for my content is to be creative. And the reason why I'm talking about this is so much of YouTube and social media and Instagram is about the flashiness, there's not real substance, guys. If you go across YouTube, if you go across Instagram, there's not really any substance, right? If you look at the car community, if you look at the bike community, what has it become? It's become every single year I can almost map out most bike car channels. I can map them out almost. Here's how it happens. New car is announced. Make 4 or 5 videos about what you dislike about the new car. Take a deposit of the car or bike, make a video on that. Biker car comes out, delivery video of said car or bike, right? Get car home, whatever, first ride, first impressions, or whatever you want to call that, right? Then over the next 4 months, it's mod videos, new fender, new exhaust, new straight pipes, wrap, wheels, tires, brakes, whatever the case, couple rad videos. By then you're at the 6-7 mark, 6-7 month mark right now, right? New car comes out, wash, oh sorry, I forgot, for bikes, race, drag race, street race, highway race, more modifications, rinse, and then new bike comes out, new car comes out, rinse and repeat. That's essentially what YouTube motovlog car community has turned into. Every year it's chasing the newest thing to modify it, because essentially, unfortunately, that's what the viewers want. So then the vloggers, car world, whatever you want to call them, have to then keep up with this lifestyle of every year buying the newest thing to modify it, to then race it or whatever, and then start over again. And for me, at my core, that's not what my channel was about. Now, the Street Fighter is a little bit different, because I wanted that for personal reasons, because it just fit my more, and you know, I want to do longer rides, like I mentioned, to like Seattle, down to California, Nevada. Like, I would like the idea to be able to do that. Not saying I would, but I definitely don't want to do that on this puppy. So that's for me why I want the Street Fighter. But once I got it, I necessarily didn't plan on, you know, trading it in or any of that kind of stuff. I was hoping to do a complete swap, right? Trade this guy in, right? And then pretty much with a few, you know, 100,000 grand, whatever. I'm sorry, a few grand down, essentially do a swap, right? And then, you know, for example, the Street Fighter S is 25, right? I think I'm down to almost 17 on my bike, right? So my idea was to sell it as is, right, for, I thought, 19, 20, 21, whatever the case was, pay the difference, and essentially I'm pretty much even as far as my payments go. That was kind of my plan, and things just didn't work out that way. So hence why I'm still in the Panigale, which again I'm completely fine, because it's still a blessing to be able to have a Ducati that's a newer model anyway. Because guys, I've been on tons of rides lately, and to be real with you, mine's still the only Ducati. Like, I went on that 90 bike ride or whatever just recently, as y'all know, and I was the only Ducati, like sport bike or super bike, if you want to call it that, right? I was the only super bike on that entire trip. There were some multi-stratas, I think. I don't even remember seeing an 899, 959, 1098. I don't remember seeing any super bike minus mine. So not everybody can afford it. So it's still a blessing to be able to have it. And I was kind of down on myself for not having the Street Fighter and it not working out to my plan. And that's kind of my next topic, you know, I want to discuss is so much of what's going on around us. And I watch these kids, right? They'll message me, they'll DM me, and they'll talk about how they really want this. You know, they really want a bike, they really want this. Thank you. They really want this, they really want that. And guys, there's nothing wrong with wanting material things, but that can't be your only focus, right? And getting into what's happened recently is I've been frustrated also with my channel, right? I'm just being transparent, frustrated with my channel because I want it to obviously grow, right? And when you're in social media or around it, it's hard to not compare yourself to other people. And people in the comments are going to say, well, you don't compare, right? You do. That's easier said than done. Because if you think about it, YouTubers are paid based on viewership, right? And so it can be easy to get caught up in you not having enough viewers because you think the next person is doing something better, right? And I kind of got caught up in that situation as well. Is like me, like I felt like the quality, like basically I felt, okay, here's just how I felt. I felt that people didn't find me interesting because I didn't have the latest and greatest thing. But on my channel, like for example, right, who else is doing scenic rides with a GoPro 360, right? I mean, just cruising. I don't mean racing, I mean just nice scenery with some cool music. Who's doing that? I did the walk around of the 916 Froggy V4, stuff like that, a cinematic walk around. I did a cinematic walk around of my own bike. But again, those don't get the viewerships, right? But if I flip it, right, The Street Fighter video first impression got almost 10,000 views, I think is at right now. If you combine my last 6 videos, I think combined, that almost equals that one video. So from my point of view, that's telling me viewers like stuff like that, right? Over quality, right? They like the freshest, newest thing over a quality ride video or a quality walk around video. Do you see my point? So it's easy to get caught up in this and then trying to and feeling like I need to keep up with the Joneses per se, right? So that, again, just being transparent, and I had to take a step back and I have to be realized to be thankful that I have, again, a sport bike, and I'm able. Someone's smoking. I have a sport bike that I'm able to enjoy and have fun on, guys. So getting to what's happened recently is that I actually got reached out to by a company, all right? And I'll go into more on this in a later video, but basically a company reached out to me about my creativity and wanted to bring me on full time to do videography, you know, for them. That's essentially what I'm doing now, right? I'm not getting rid of the channel. I'm still doing this, but the point I'm finally coming back around to is that the whole objective for my channel was to be creative, was to kind of showcase how creative of a person I was, hoping that creativity would bring about more viewers, subscribers, vendors, all this, right? Being able to work with companies, all that sort of thing. That was kind of the idea. What essentially it morphed into was a company reaching out to me to hire me. Now, a little backstory on that, guys. I am actually a salaried employee, and I have kind of full reign on making their creative content, right? And for those of you who don't understand, Nike and Adidas are multi-billion-dollar companies, and like I said, I used to work for Nike. Nike doesn't hire many full-time salaried videographers. They do contract work, meaning they go to an agency, and when they need a video shoot, you know, they'll contact the agency. The agency will pick somebody. They'll go out there and do a shoot, or they're contracted where they don't get benefits. Guys, I'm a full salaried with benefits videographer. That's essentially what I'm doing right now as we speak. That started this week, matter of fact. That this opportunity came because of my channel, because of the creativity. And the reason why I'm making this video is because it brought me back to the reality, to the point of I got reached out because of the very thing I wanted Nike to do, right? I wanted Nike to hire me because of my creativity, and they didn't. Okay. Now, to give the short story of that, basically, I on my own created a soccer shoe, right? I created an idea of a soccer shoe, what I wanted, like the sole, the cleat pattern, the colorway, all of this, right? And I presented this idea to Nike or to the guys I was talking to, as, hey, this is why you should hire me, is because this is the shoe. And come to find out, this actual shoe I created on my own was a shoe that was actually coming to market 6 months from that time frame. So when I had the meeting, they thought I had stole the idea, when actually I didn't. So the point is that a team of developers and PLMs came together to create a shoe, okay, that I essentially created on my own. And when I brought this to them, that didn't equal a job, because to me it should have. Now, everything happens for a reason, right? That's what I believe in my faith, that everything happens for a reason. But I was pissed off because I was like, I pretty much crushed it. Like, you should hire me on the spot, how I felt. If someone comes in and does the job by themselves, that a group of people collectively came to the same idea, that to me, you should be hired on the spot. But that wasn't the case. Okay? So they didn't, which is okay. But because of that, you know, I realized, you know what, I'm done with the whole Nike thing, so I'm gonna go out. I was frustrated. I was like, hey, it's time for me to go out on my own, do my own thing, which essentially turned into me doing the YouTube channel. And now, 2 years later from that, here I am now getting paid pretty much to do the same thing, so to speak, but doing it more on the video side, paid salary, and I have I'm kind of the controller, right? I pretty much decide what's going to be put on and what isn't. Obviously I have to get approval, but the point is I have free reign, salary, benefits, all that. So it's a tremendous blessing. So wrapping it all up, guys, the point is, man, don't get caught up in what others are doing. Don't get caught up in what others are doing and what you're not doing, right? And I know during times like what's going on right now, it's tough to look at others because it's like, woe me, what's going on with me? I don't have this, I don't have that, right? The point is, man, is we all are going to have our opportunities. We're all going to have our time, right? I still believe my channel is going to grow. I still believe I'm going to be one of, if not the highest, whatever, viewership moto vloggers on YouTube in time, right? But the issue comes down to patience, right? It might not be today or tomorrow or even 5 years from now, but it's having patience that one day that will come, guys. And that's what I implore all of y'all to do, is saying, keep that hope, keep that dream alive, man, because you never know when someone's gonna call your number, right? Because for me, basically this job for me is similar to if I would have gotten to play professional soccer, right? Of getting that name called, saying, hey, we're going to call you up to the big league. Because in all actuality, this job that I'm doing is far above my pay grade, right? But these guys saw the creativity, my character, all this sort of thing, and decided that this is the guy that we want. Guys, I didn't compete. I didn't even have an interview. Nothing. They called me and said, hey, we want to hire you. We met, chatted for a little bit. When can you start? That's essentially how the whole thing went down. So, and the whole weekend after we had that, which was last Friday, the whole weekend, I'm just laying around like, is this real? Did this really happen? Like, I'm gonna wake up and it's gonna be a dream, or I'm gonna come into work on Monday and then be like, hey, we can't hire you, or something. I just swore something bad was gonna happen, but it didn't. So that's what this video is about, man, is the reality of social media and YouTube, guys. And for those of you who want to get started and want to create your own channel, don't get caught up in the views, because I think a lot of people are getting on YouTube because they want to be popular, or they want to be known or recognized or have influence. For me, the core of my channel was newbie rider on sport bike, and then the creativity of making video content. Guys, I actually enjoy taking the bike somewhere scenic and making cinematic videos almost more than writing. I enjoy being a videographer more than a moto vlogger. Being a moto vlogger and getting subscribers is just the, what's the word, after effect, or the effect, right, of the cause. My cause is being a great videographer. The effect to that is getting subscribers and views from my YouTube content and differentiating myself from other people. That's my message. That is my goal. I didn't get on YouTube to be LeBron James of YouTube. Again, that would be just the effect of it, right? LeBron James didn't play basketball so he could be sponsored by Nike and be, the coolest guy on the planet. He had a love for basketball. And I think the issue that people on social media and YouTube have is their focus is the fame. They're chasing after the fame and not chasing after, why do they do the thing? Like, if you enjoy playing video games, play video games. Guys, I stream. I stream almost every week. Like Twitch, YouTube, Facebook stream all at the same time. And guys, I have 3 or 4 or 5 viewers. So, I've had some days where I've had 30, 40 at a time, but for the most part, my viewers are crap. As far as not them, but the viewer count is crap. But I do it because I just enjoy streaming. I enjoy it, whether I have viewers or not. Are there days where I'm like, dang, it'd be nice to have a couple more people to just at least talk to? Absolutely. But the core of why I do it is because I enjoy it, guys. And I think a lot of you need to look into yourself and ask yourself, why am I on YouTube? Why am I on Instagram or social media? Why am I doing the thing that I'm doing? If you're doing it for views and subscribers and to be cool and be known, you're doing it for the wrong reason. Because that's not something that is sustainable. You can't sustain that for 50 years, guys. As a career, right? You might have a season, you might have you might go viral for a little bit, but you can't sustain that. Why is it like I can sustain being a creative videographer today, tomorrow, and 30 years from now? I might not can ride on this, but I can still make content. That's the point, guys. So remember that as you decide to either get off of YouTube, get on to YouTube, get on it, like do Twitch video, like all of that kind of stuff, man. Don't get caught up in Ninja and all these other people that are, because at the core, Ninja and all the other people enjoy what they do. Because trust me, today I didn't want to get up and come ride. I want to get up, hop in the car, come to the gym, and go home. I don't want to have to get on my gear, pull it all out, pull the bike out, put on my gear, get on the stuff on, and ride, right? And make a video. I just want to ride, right? But because there's days like that, guys. There's days where I don't enjoy making motovlog content because of the subscribers. I'm human. You know what I'm saying? There are days where I have to drag myself and put myself to do it. It's not going to be perfect and enjoyable every day. It isn't enjoyable to spend countless hours editing a video to then turn around, right, spend 6 hours editing, 9 hours rendering it, to put it on YouTube to get 100 views. That is tough, because our world and our society tells us that we have to, when you do something, you have to get a result out of it all the time. Not every result's going to be instantaneous. And that's why I think a lot of people like social media and YouTube, because they're looking for instant fame, instant gratification. Or like my dad says, we're the microwave generation, right? We're not the oven, right? We don't preheat it for it to heat up, for it to get warm, for it to get hot, and then from there let it expand, then put whatever it is into the oven as the oven's hot. It takes longer, but the quality's better. So be more ovens, be less microwaves. Anyway, guys, that's enough of me yapping for today. Thank you as always for cooling with Jay, and I'll see you on the next video. Alright, guys, well, before I head out, at least owe y'all a engine startup, at least, if I'm not gonna ride. Alright.